This is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are all well on this. It's Thursday. I don't know when you guys are gonna watch, but this is a timeless message. So whenever you get around to it, awesome. But I'm recording this on a Thursday evening, much later than my normal time of doing it, because I usually do my Thursday readings around like 6ish, 6:30. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was tired and I didn't think I was gonna go on, and I got like this little bit of momentum, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should do it. And even though it's kind of like late in comparison to what time I normally would do it, like, why the fuck not, right? So with all that said, like I said, I hope you guys are well. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. And for those of you who've been, rocking with me for a little bit, welcome back. And thank you for the continued support. If you haven't done so already, like, share, subscribe. Really, really hitting that subscribe button is important, and the notification bell. Side note, my smoke detector battery needs to be changed. Everything's fine. There's like 50 million detectors throughout this apartment, and it's a small apartment, so I will be fine. Um, People keep putting like comments and stuff on my Instagram and stuff. You need to change that smoke detector. Oh, spirits tell me you should change your smoke detector battery. I'm like, dude, I'm not a fucking idiot. Like, I know that it needs to be done. Like, if it were a dire, no pun intended, if it were a dire situation, then I would, have done it already. But being that I have several throughout the house in one room, mind you, it's like the two that are going off that are next to each other, and then the rest of the house has them, I will be fine. But anyway, that's besides the point. So we're gonna get started. As you guys saw, this is gonna be a different reading than what I would normally do. Normally, what I've been doing for like a few weeks, more than a few weeks now, I've been doing like a kind of like a what's brewing reading. To see what's going on, what you guys need to know, the tea, basically, is kind of the equivalent of that, because a lot of people are doing that kind of reading. And, people always like to kind of get the inside scoop of what's going on behind the scenes that they don't know. But I got, I just looked up, saw 222, and I said that. I was inclined and drawn to use my Mermaid Oracle deck, which I have not used on camera before. So, figured, at least I don't think I have. No, I take that back. I've used it once, and it was like last year, like early last year, actually. So, yeah, I haven't used them on camera in a long time. So anyway, we're gonna get started. Let's see what pops up for the collective. Spirit light show positive, and meaningful messages for the collective. Bring that positive energy into this reading. Show the collective what they need to know and see at this time for their highest good when it comes to their path and their journey, tapping into the magic within and the divinity within. What do they need to know? Thank you. All right, so we have Lemuria returns, earthly spirituality, community, ocean conservation. So that's like basically kind of talking about going back to like the beginning, the basics, coming back to yourself, giving birth to this new version of self, possibly with her being pregnant. It's literally like, I just heard gestation. It's like your gestational period. I also heard incubation. This is like this period in your life right now where you're really fostering this new connection with yourself and giving birth to this new version of yourself at this time. So it sounds like this is going to be very interesting already. It's like a death and rebirth kind of thing to me. So what else does the collective need to know? That was just on the bottom of the deck, so let's get some more insight. What does the collective need to know? Here are some most accurate messages. Hey Queen, how are you, love? Alright, what we got? So we have, okay. We have two cards that came out. We have yearning, longing. Okay, these came out in the reverse, so I'm going to read them in the reverse. We have yearning, longing for someone, undesired separation, and pining. Along with the crane bag, sacred ocean medicine, the declutter, choice. These came out together and they came out in the reverse. So I feel like what it's saying is a lot of you guys, um, I'm getting this energy of you guys had to kind of release or are in the process of releasing. Take it as it resonates because everybody's situation might be different. But there's like this separation that took place. And so it's giving me like past love kind of connection, possibly for some. And you had to let it go. And it was one of those kind of things where you didn't want to. And it was a hard, very, very hard decision that you had to make to do that. But you knew that you had to do this in order to become a newer and better version of yourself. Which would explain that first card that we saw about Lemuria returns. Talking about it's like a return to self. It's a return to this, you know, how can I put it? Return to self, or just this, like I said, this ego death, right? You know, you go through this major transformation, which is like a rebirth. And it's a new version of yourself that's coming from, you know, releasing that old baggage that no longer serves you. Which in most cases, for a lot of those who end up watching this, it's a past relationship that was, you know, holding you back, keeping you tied down. We have a guide, mentor, or a trustworthy ally here right now. So I do feel like you guys were guided to make this decision. You had to really like listen to where you were being led. Again, not an easy decision, right? When you care about somebody and been there, done that. I know how that feels. We all do. We've all been there at some point. It's hard, right? And we might know, wow, I know that I need to let go of this old baggage or this person who's been weighing me down. And sometimes you're being guided, and you're getting all the inklings that you're supposed to get to do something different, move on, whatever, and you hold on tighter than you're supposed to. So I would not be shocked if cards like the Four of Pentacles or something like that were to pop up in the main spread of the reading when we get to the tarot portion. But we're gonna pull a few more of these and just see what else comes up. Yep, and that's exactly it, Queen. That's exactly it, because when you get those those situations that come up in life, especially when it comes to romance, these people who are not good for us, and we take on all of those burdens when it comes to that person. We hold on too tightly, and they're just dragging us further and further down. And then eventually we have to make the conscious decision to say, okay, enough's enough. And I have to do what I have to do for my own sanity, to bring myself back to where I was, or at least a better version even. We have divination here, prophecy, fate, destiny, future, fortune. So a lot of you might have been turned. I mean, ironically enough, you're watching a tarot video. So a lot of you might have been relying on divination to kind of help you during this period of time, this phase of life. I, for one, can tell you guys, speaking of my own experiences, where I went through something very similar to this energy here, and it was divination that helped me get through. And I didn't even know I had spiritual gifts. I had no clue. Like, I knew I was like the weird kid. I talk about this all the time, but like I knew I was like the weird kid, and something was different about me, but I never knew what it was, and I kept things under wraps. Like the things that I would experience and stuff, I wouldn't tell anybody. So there were a lot of things I kept to myself and didn't say anything about. And then it wasn't until a few years ago when I had a reading done by a very gifted reader. Her name is Bhavani Diamond. She is on YouTube and all the social platforms. She has a Patreon account, all kind of stuff. She's really good. But she was like one of the people who really helped me get through, what I was going through, and helped me get in tune with my spiritual side and my spiritual journey. So some of you might be using, divination in that same fashion, possibly. Some of you might be diviners yourself, using runes or, candle magic, you know, some people read seashells. I actually kind of want to get into that. I think that's kind of cool. You know, there's so many different types of divination, but, you know, point being, you know, some of you might be getting into it yourselves, or actually, you know, already use it, or use it as a way to kind of help you get through, you know, these different things that you're going through your path right now. We have vulnerability. Open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. So I'm getting that, you know, for some of you, you know, after this period of, you know, working on thyself, you know, after, you know, that period of, you know, having to heal, after, you know, releasing that old baggage that no longer served you. Um, Kind of learning how to be vulnerable again, right? Opening up that heart chakra, that heart space, working on that healing journey. It takes work, it takes time, it's not something that happens overnight. So I feel like you guys might be at that point now where you're almost, I wanted to go and say, I'm finally ready for love. You might have always felt like you're ready for love, but like for those of you who, you know, had to kind of close yourself off of it, and you did, like, you know, some isolation, right, and, you know, took a break from dating and things like that. um you know, vulnerability is not a bad thing. It's just you have to, you know how and who to be vulnerable with, right? Not everybody has earned that, right? So, you know, some of us, speaking for myself, um, have a tendency to, or have had a tendency in the past to be way too open with people. You know, you put too much of your energy out there, too much of um, your your energy really is the best word I can think of. Your energy, your efforts, um, wearing your heart on your sleeve, right? Kind of just being okay, you know, I'm just gonna put it all out there, you know, and, you know, we put ourselves out there for the wrong people. So again, this could be a phase or a period right now where you're learning how to, you know, be more discerning, or have been working on that. Being more discerning about the people who you allow into your heart space, and not being completely closed off. We have time and tide, oceanic spells and rituals. Um, I always get more than one message when I see this card, because one message that I pick up on is, you know, when I think of time and tide, just looking at how it's bolded and stuff, going with the tides of life, right? The ebbs and flows of life, going with the flow, understanding that there's going to be times where that, you know, that how can I put it? Those tides can be treacherous sometimes, right? And they come in strong, and, you know, it's like a whirlpool of just shit sometimes. And it could be hard, right? But we learn how to roll with the punches, and, you know, and find that sense of peace and serenity through it all. You know, if you look at the picture, you know, she's drawing a heart in the sand, and, you know, it looks like a very, very serene scenario there. I'm also getting, for some, because I always get more than one message when I pick up that card, I'm also getting, you know, some of you might actually benefit from doing some, if you believe in like rituals and stuff like that, um, maybe doing some cleansing by large bodies of water. I've seen that energy pop up in the past, of maybe spending time near large bodies of water, if possible, depending on where you live. And if you can't do that, then you might benefit from things like let's say you do meditation, right? Listening to like ocean sounds during your meditation might be something random. Start might be something that can, you know, help kind of bring you a sense of peace and harmony. It could again be also like, if you do happen to be by large bodies of water, you know, using that as a way to, you know, cleanse yourself. Some people do things like they'll, like, you know, write themselves like a letter, or they'll write down things that they want to release, and they'll like burn it and put the ashes in the water. Like, there's so many different things you can do. So, you know, maybe, you know, especially with that divination card you saw, maybe using water magic could be a thing that you can use to kind of help you kind of with releasing, because we have sacrifice here now and it fell on the floor. It says, there are those worth making, there are those that will destroy you. So, in other words, knowing when to release, right? That first card we saw with the crane back and it was in the reverse, with the yearning card. Like, this was a connection that you yearned for. There was a fire that was fueling within because of this person. That's why making this sacrifice was very hard. It was not an easy decision. And the thing is, this situation was something that had to be sacrificed and released in order for you to come into your best version of yourself, because this was literally something for some of you, it was destroying your peace. And I'm with this 11 card, I'm getting like justice card, I'm getting karmic. So this person might have been a karmic, and you had to learn some karmic lessons. I'm also, even though it's not here, I'm getting like hanged man energy, right? It's like, getting that sense of enlightenment. And now you feel a lot lighter and freer because of the decision that you made to remove yourself. Yes. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have reflections. What you contemplate can actualize. Being able to do those self-reflections, looking deeper within oneself, and, seeing what needs to be done in order to, again, be this better and higher version of yourself. Um, I'm also getting that, your thoughts become manifestations, right? What you think and what not is what you're putting out there, that energy. So be very, very intentional about the things that you, like your thoughts, your thought patterns, the things you speak, so on and so forth. As you do these reflections, make sure you're speaking light and love into yourself. Oh, I love the song. First of all, I love Sade and I love King of Sorrow. That's such a good song. I love that song. I hate the fact that, like, on YouTube you get flagged so easily for everything, because like I would, like, the stuff like that, like that's the type of music I would love to play in the background, and I can't because I'll get flagged. So I hate that. I'm like, ugh. There's like so many things I want to listen to, and I have to listen to certain things that won't get flagged, but it is what it is. So let's get maybe 2 more from this deck, and then we'll start the tarot portion. All right. Ooh, I like it. So we have air, breathing deep, entering into life, exchange of life-bringing energies. Ooh, looking like a love reading a little bit or something over here. Along with falling in love, kissing the divine in another and in yourself. Okay, I like it. Falling in love with yourself. Now, what I get from this, however, is this energy of the importance of reciprocity. That might have been one of the biggest lessons you had to learn by, sacrificing this connection that, was no longer serving you. When something starts to feel like it's literally taking everything from you, sucking your life force out of you, it's like you have to release it, like to the point where you feel like you can't breathe. Right? It's like this situation, like I suddenly felt shortness of breath, like an anxiety kind of thing. And I do have anxiety, but I feel fine right now. It's just like the energy I'm feeling, like this, like something sitting on your chest, like, depleting, something that made you feel depleted of your energy. So I think one of the big things you probably had to learn was that importance of equal give and take in a connection. Because guess what? If you feel like you're always over pouring into something, and this could be a lesson you had to learn more than once. I know I had to. That there needs to be that equal give and take, equal pour. Like, there's people who jump into an ocean for somebody, and that those same people that you jump into a whole ocean for, you're lucky if they put their fucking big toe in a little puddle. You know what I mean? Like, that's not mutual. That's not equal give and take, and that's fun. So with that coming out with this falling in love card, I feel like you guys, as you've been working on yourself in this part of your journey, you're learning how to love yourself more. You're loving up on yourself. You're giving more attention to yourself, and you're understanding that importance of equal give and take and reciprocity in relationships. And because of that, you're going to be able to be a lot more open to love when it does come towards you. And it will be a lot more equal give and take versus feeling like you're always the one sacrificing everything for everybody else. Let's get one more as the overarching theme here, and then we'll start the tarot portion. That one flew out. What is it? As I was just talking about falling in love with yourself and, loving up on yourself more. We have beauty. I just heard Drew Hill, beauty. Beauty is her name. That's you guys. I'll spare you the singing. I'm not going to do it right now. But it says grace, loveliness, integrity of form and spirit. So that's the energy you guys are in right now, with this being the overarching theme. So yes, really coming back into who you are, who you've been, and embracing it. Something that you probably haven't done in a long time, if ever. And I like it for you guys. I like it. We have farewell to the moon. Appreciate and enjoy the lunar light and cycles. Ironically enough, we just had the solar eclipse the other day. So it's kind of giving me this energy of like, you're saying kind of farewell. I just had bidding adieu to like, this old version of yourself and all the things that were part of that old cycle that you've been closing out. You're coming into this much lighter, more positive space in your life. This is what you're welcoming in by releasing that old negative energy that no longer serves you. What else we got? Ooh. We have honor the masculine, respecting men, embracing the masculine divine. So I feel like it's kind of saying that when that proper and right opportunity comes around, there will be this sense of a divine masculine coming towards you, for those of you who, are going, or, or I don't want to say seeking, but embracing a man coming into your life. Otherwise, maybe you're the divine masculine and you're waiting for your divine feminine. Take it as it resonates. But I'm sure that most of those watching are, women watching who are looking for or waiting for their divine masculine. I don't even like using the word waiting. Embracing is a good word. Literally says embracing on here, actually. But yeah, like I said, releasing all those old things from the past is allowing for the divine masculine to kind of come in. I like it. And we all have reflections here again in the middle of the deck. What you contemplate can't actualize, right? So if this is something you've been manifesting, something you've been wanting, it's one of those kind of things that are going to slowly start kind of coming towards you because you've been doing your work. Now, of course, patience is super important. And it's not one of those kind of things where, you can rush the process. When things happen, they happen, in their divine timing, when they're meant to, when you're ready. So, sorry for the background noise. I had the remote, I didn't. Alright. So, let's see what Spirit has to say. Pull out a few. I'm not gonna, usually I try to put them like in a spread. But I'm just gonna kind of see what comes out and go from there. Thank you. Patience. Because I just said something about that. Being patient. Some of you guys might have Sagittarius in your chart. Take it as it resonates. That would be the equivalent of the Temperance card in this particular deck. So yeah, really, really tempering yourself and understanding the importance of finding, peace and balance in your life. And then that will be one of the things that will almost have to happen first in order for you to really welcome like romance, right? And again, there's so many noises. What the fuck is going on? Between people cooking, I'm hearing a baby crying. There's no babies around here. What is going on? I don't know. I apologize. So that's a lot going on. All right, tell us more. I don't think anybody has a baby in this building. All right, so we have suffering and silence. So it's giving me, I really hear a baby. Where is that coming from? And it's loud. It's bugging me out because where the fuck is this baby sound coming from? I don't know if you guys can hear that. I don't know if that's only in my head. Why do I ever hear a baby? All right, anyway, we have suffering and silence. So it's the same thing as the Nine of Swords. So really, in one's head space a lot. Let me turn this down a little bit now. I was just trying to cover up all that noise in the kitchen. My brother was in there cooking up something real quick. But anyway, so yeah, a lot of thinking, a lot of, stress. Might have even lost a lot of sleep at one point in time, and just feeling really isolated and alone during that process. No fun. Trust me, I know. But just, I don't know. Mental conflict along with stand your ground. So it's the equivalent of the Two of Swords and the Seven of Wands. So again, this energy of there was a conscious decision, right, that you had to make this really hard decision. We saw that energy very early on in the reading within the first couple of cards, and stand your ground. So you really had to stand on business and say, all right, bruh, you ain't doing what you need to do. I feel depleted. I feel like you're just draining all of my energy away from me. This is not a relationship that I can foster anymore. I've been there, done that with you. This is, I have to nix it here. After after a lot of suffering, and I mean, I'm even getting another message here. You were very patient with this person. Like, this wasn't like you just like said, fuck this person, I'm just gonna leave him alone. Like, no, you really put in time and effort. I would not be shocked if the equivalent of the Seven of Pentacles were to show up in this deck. Tell us more. But yeah, it could be a new gift or upgrade. I heard like a baby like loud, like as if it were in the room with me. So I'm like, where the fuck is that coming from? There ain't no babies around here. So like, this building doesn't really have any kids really. Most of the people here are adults. So I'm just like, what the heck? Like, it was loud. And I know like my brother like came out of his room, his door was open, but his stuff's always on his headphones. So he's watching like, he watches like video games and stuff, like tournaments and stuff, or engages in them. But yeah, so that wasn't him. That was weird. All right, we've got excuse me. We got two cards that came out together. We have Rejoice in Union, Rejoice in, why would I say union if it says celebration? That's interesting. It's the equivalent of my throat chakra is acting up. The equivalent of the Three of Cups, along with recognition and reward, another three. This is the equivalent of the Three of Pentacles. So it's giving me like Three of Cups / Three of Pentacles, meaning third party. So for some of you, take this as it resonates, there was like a third party connection involved that caused a lot of this stuff that happened. I'm also getting, if it wasn't that, is saying that this person, reading this another way, it might be saying that this person wants to come back into your energy and, you know, reunite. Maybe they finally recognize you for who you are and all the effort that you put forth. But the thing is, you're standing your ground. You're not gonna, I don't see you guys trying to allow this energy back in. Why? Because you know this person is no good for you and they're toxic, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm good. No thanks. You know. Um, so, you know, if that resonates, let me know. Um, Tell us more. We'll get a few more and then we'll probably pull from another deck. Thank you. Shadow. So we have shadow here. This is the equivalent of the moon in this deck. Yes, the moon in this deck. So that's about fears, but it could also be about like secrets, deception. Yeah, I will go with the deception, especially with conflict and defeat here on the bottom of the deck. Same thing as the Five of Swords. There's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes with this person, and they were not honest with you. There's a lot of deception, a lot of like winning at all costs kind of energy. Like, you know, however way they could get a one up on you, that's what they would do. And it's like I saw 3-1-1-3 when I looked up. girl, that's how I feel. You don't be bring your little dusty ass around here disturbing my peace. No, thank you. Tell us more. Spirit's funny. Choose wisely as it falls on the floor. Yeah, don't be bringing little dusty ass around here messing up my vibe. I choose me, motherfucker. Like, no thank you. Mofos, we try to come back around, try to spin the block with their little dusty asses, little dust bunnies, and want to try to mess with some queens and empresses. You know, no thank you. We good on that. We don't want that. So you go ahead with your little dusty ass and go that way. Exit stage left. So we good over here. I just thought about that line from Mariah Carey's song. It's like this, and she says, "These chickens is ash and I'm lotion." I love that line. These chickens is ash and I'm lotion. Baby, come and get it. Let me give you what you need. Oh, man. Tell us more. Spirit is funny. So we have the waiting game here. A lot of twos here because there's a lot of decisions that have had to be made, right? And there's actually two people in here right now as we talk. Yeah. It's giving me Two of Wands energy. That energy of waiting or, you know, planning something so you can move in a new direction, just waiting it out. And that's why patience is so important. If you look at this card, because remember, this card, it's a derivative basically of the typical tarot deck, but they also have their own meaning, so I read it both ways. But if you look at this card, it's an hourglass, and if you look, there's also like a tree. You can see like the roots there. You can see like the leaves. It's like, you know, that patience, right? You know, now that you've made those wiser decisions, especially looking at the order of the cards too, like you made that wise decision to say, okay, you know, I'm gonna remove myself from this situation. I'm choosing me finally. Now this is about being patient and, you know, waiting things out and, you know, kind of being ready for the opportunity to present itself when, you know, love comes in and, you know, all that. But the focus right now is the self-love. I'm getting, because the more that you show the universe that that's what, in God, whatever you believe in, that's what you're wanting, you have to show that you're ready for it. And through showing you're ready for it, that's when you receive it. But the big thing right now, I think, for you guys is just that I'm seeing here as I'm reading these cards, that self-love right now is ideal. Making sure that you don't ever forget how important you are in the grand scheme of things, like your well-being, your health, how you feel about yourself, how you take care of yourself. Those things are of the utmost importance, and those are the things that need to really be treasured at this time. We have the solar plexus chakra, so it could possibly need a little bit of work, perhaps for some of you. Take it as it resonates. So if you've been feeling, maybe a lack of confidence or a lack of like willpower when it comes to doing certain things, that could be an indicator that that solar plexus needs a little bit of work. Um, for others of you, you're finding a sense of confidence within yourself and willpower to go after the things that you want in your life. You're feeling very, very powerful, or are about to start feeling very powerful. Um, I would say possibly for those of you who feel like this particular chakra needs a little bit of work, um, looking up like different meditations could be helpful. Um, Also, eating a lot of yellow fruits and vegetables could be helpful. Wearing the color yellow could be helpful. Um, as her radiant. Interesting word. Maybe yellow will make you feel radiant. um, hmm. Bottom of the deck we have fertility, your divine feminine energy. It's like the equivalent of the Empress card. And then with that green light right there in the middle of the chest is giving me like heart chakra vibes too. Um, this energy again of as you're nurturing yourself. Also make sure that you work on that heart space because that heart space might still need a little bit of tending to too. Take it as it resonates. Let's get maybe two more from this deck. Nice. I used to think like I used to have a complex about my complexion back in the day, and I used to think that like bright colors didn't look good on me until I started wearing them, and I was like, especially when I had my locks, girl. When I had my locks, you couldn't tell me shit. I used to wear all the brightest colors, and I was just like, you can't tell me nothing. I really like fell in love with my skin complexion and all of that, but like it took a long time for me to appreciate it. Because like in high school, like guys would say stuff like my best friend at the time, she was very light skinned, and I was I guess we'd say brown skin, but people called me dark skin, and which there's nothing wrong with. Dark skin is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, all of our complexions are absolutely gorgeous. But that there's always a stigma attached to, or there's been a stigma attached to dark skin for a very long time. We won't go into the history of all that. That's a whole different topic. But I had a little bit of a complex about my complexion because guys would say stuff like, "Oh, you're cute for a dark skinned girl," and I'm like, why can't I just be cute? You know what I mean? So like, I had like this thing within myself where I was like, oh, I don't think that'll look good in like bright colors and things like that. And I had to like really learn how to appreciate, all of what I, including my hair, my complexion, my body shape, because I feel like for most of my life I was always uncomfortable with something, right? Yeah, they used to call me dark skin. And I mean, I will say this, as I've gotten older, I've gotten lighter. um I've I'm not as dark as I was when I was younger. I looked it up. Apparently as you get older you lose a little bit of melanin, and I'm like, I look at pictures, I'm like, I am a little bit lighter than I was. But I mean, I was always like brown skin. So like but like I said, I had a whole complex about it. And then like in high school, I also was very, very thin, and being around a whole bunch of blacks and Puerto Ricans, all they think about, or they used to think about, was big boobs and big butts, especially big butts. And I did not have either. Well, I got them now, but I didn't have them back then. And I was like maybe a full C, and and then I was a size 0. I'm a size 10 now, so there's that. But yeah, I was size 0 in high school, and like all the guys liked all the thick girls, so girl, guys, girls, whatever. Like I I'm just telling y'all, like, I had such a complex about so many things about myself. And one of those things was bright colors on myself. My hair, I always felt that it was too nappy. So I always had relaxers up until I turned, what, 27? 27 is when I cut all my hair off the first time. And then I had fro for a little bit, and then I locked up my hair, had my locks for almost 9 years, and I've, you know, my hair is straightened right now, but, you know, I've had my fro again now for a year and a half. So I say all that to say, you know, those complexes, that's what this reading is about, right? Figuring out how to, you know, embrace our beauty, finding beauty within ourselves, not worrying about other people's standards. And seeing something beautiful. Well, I don't know how I was gonna say it like that. Beautiful. So saying it weird. Beautiful within ourselves, right? Yeah. So confidence, ladies and gentlemen. So we also have two cards that came out together. We have Destiny. So this is like the Wheel of Fortune here, along with Harmony. Which is the equivalent of the Lovers. So it's like there is a destined connection that's going to come together at some point. And it's meant to happen like that. But of course there's, like, you know, all this other stuff that has to happen first. And then on the bottom of the deck we have Prosperity Begins. A lot of stuff like with trees and stuff, and we just got into spring not too long ago, so I'm just seeing like a lot of things blooming. Some of you might have ties to Georgia with the peaches there. I have some family down in Georgia. But yeah, it's the equivalent of the Ace of Pentacles card, along with spiritual strength. Bear with me. Wands. Yes, 9 of Wands. They're color coded, so I always have to remember which one's which. Yeah. You know, you've been through a lot, but you're resilient, you're strong, right? You've been through all these different things, and that's like that sense of resilience is what's going to help lead you to these brand new beginnings that are going to be very fruitful for you. There's going to be love, there's going to be abundance in all different ways, shapes, and forms, and it all starts within yourself. That sense of really understanding your worth and your value, as you welcome new love and all these new opportunities into your life. It's beautiful energy, you know, because again, you've done the work. We have the Rest and Rejuvenate card here, same thing as the Four of Swords. And if you look, this guy is like sitting in a forest with all these trees. So the camera did that weird thing. It doesn't usually have to autofocus. That was interesting that it just did that. But that could be a sign that you guys need to work on getting a little more grounded. Spending more time outdoors, especially now that the weather's getting nicer for a lot of us. Like here, it's raining here in Connecticut and New York, but but yes. So let's see. What other cards do I want to read from? I'm hoping that these messages are resonating, because there's not a lot of people here. There's people like kind of coming in and out, but like I don't know how many people actually stayed for the whole video. Ooh. Well, I know my girl Queen did. My apologies, friends. So I had a couple of decks like together, and then they like fell. I'm like, ah. So I have to like reach over to get them back out now. All right, so we're gonna pull from this deck. Since we're talking about mermaids, why not pull from the Healing Waters deck, right? Works for me. So let's just see what else Spirit has to say. And if you're resonating with this, sending some reactions to let me know would be great. Continue talking in the comment section. Hit the like button. All those fun things. It just lets me know that I'm connecting with your energy and that the message is resonating. All right. We have the sirens. Use your voice. Expansion, freedom. Interesting. Now, interestingly enough, a little while ago, I did say something about my throat chakra, right? I was like, wait, why do I feel like I'm having a hard time getting words out? Um, it's a time to really use your voice and speak up for yourself, stand your ground. There's freedom of expression right now, being able to be fully expressive and authentic about, what it is that you have to say, and seeing a lot of value in what you have to say. Nice. I like it. Tell us more. I'm getting for somebody who ends up watching this, somebody might like to sing. They might be kind of calling you to sing more. I don't know if you like recording or you just do it for like fun, but either way, like if it's something that you enjoy doing, start doing it more and practice. Like if you actually like have like a singing voice and maybe you're shy about it or something, I think they're calling you to start using it more. My son probably would say the same about me, but that's a different conversation. I'm shy about that, and yeah, no, thank you. So, as I'm telling you guys, hey, you should use your voice more. I sing for fun, for leisurely purposes. Like, but my son, who's a musician and stuff, because I talk about him all the time on here, and he sings and stuff too. He's more like blues singer type, but yeah, he always says, "Mom, you have such a pretty voice. You just have to use it more." And I'm just like, okay. I do it with you. Doesn't that count? We do like little duets and stuff together. It's pretty fun. All right, so we have into the unknown, underworld, depth, courage, facing your fears. So we talked about that sense of facing fears earlier. Remember, leaving behind all those old things. I think what was the card said, farewell to the moon or something like that. And yeah, it's kind of going that same energy, going into the depth of your core to figure out and understand who you are, and like doing that really true deep diving to understand this new version of yourself, because this person's new even to you. This is somebody you're like, I don't even fully know me yet. you know um there might even be a sense of grieving, in a way, because it's like, as you release like those old parts of who you were. I won't even say are who you were. It's like, now it's like, okay, well, I kind of miss that version of me a little bit, just a tad, you know. But this new version of you is, a lot stronger, a lot more inept in terms of just being more aware, right? Wiser, stronger. Um, so this is a time to, understand that, during this sense of deep diving into who you really are right now, just be courageous. You got this. We have the pink dolphin. I like it. Celebration, fun, unbridled joy, open heart. Remember, we talked about opening up that heart chakra, so I said that several times. Now we got some confirmation here. So, opening up your heart a little bit more, right? And celebrate who you're becoming, right? This isn't anything to frown upon or be upset about or sad about. This is about celebrating this new version of you. The things you've been through, acknowledging how strong you are, how valuable you are, the strength and courage that it took you to get through what you've been through. You guys have a testimony, I'm sure. We have the ripple effect, part of something bigger. Details are taken care of. So there's this sense of, there's this bigger picture, right? Sometimes we don't always understand what the fuck it all is about. And we're like, this shit's confusing. I don't understand it. I'm lost, whatever. And it's like, understand that, you know, and it was very cliche, I know, everything happens for a reason. But it's true, you know. There's a divine, you know, purpose for a lot of the things that happen in our lives. And I know that was like a redundancy, my bad. But yeah, like, you know, just understand there's a bigger picture. And you might not always understand it. You might not even see it. Um, but just understand that the divine, the higher power, whatever you believe in, they have it all mapped out. So there's no need to, you know, get, you know, overly concerned about anything, you know. This is a time to just relish in your successes, the things that you've done, the strides that you've taken thus far. This is a big time for that. Because you're fucking incredible, you're magical, okay? This is a time to put out all the affirmations about yourself. All right? Tell us more. Let's get maybe 3 or 4 more from this deck. The Water Oracle. Psychic abilities, acting on visions, it's destined. I just talked about destiny. There's already a destiny card here, and it says it. For some of you, take this as it resonates. I said this earlier too. I feel like some of you, with that divination card that showed up, some of you might be getting ready to start tapping into some psychic abilities and gifts yourselves. Maybe divination is one of the things you've been turning to kind of learn more about it, or you're trying to learn more about it, and you're just like, dang, like something's drawing me to do this. I just don't know why. You're being guided to do that. So, you know, sometimes, you know, when we go through really hard times and traumatic experiences and things like that, you know, when we go through those lessons, we learn during those periods of time, that's when we actually tap into the, these gifts that we have. Um, and that's exactly how it happened for me. They were there, but they were like dormant. I didn't know that they were there like that. And then, you know, I was able to access them by working on myself. So for some of you, that it could be a very similar situation to that. Um, bounteous generosity, generously giving, relationships coming together. It's giving me that you like the cards I just saw. I didn't read them off, but it was giving me like, you know, there's this sense of growth and metamorphosis that's happening, and it had to do with a karmic relationship because the cards were in the reverse. Um, so it almost like was like one of the situations where it took some of these tougher situations for you to get to this point. Tell us more. Let's get maybe 2 more. Or not. Usually by now, something would, there we go. I'd say usually by now something would have came out. You have plunge. Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. Yeah, take a deep dive. And interestingly enough, Queen, you just said, glad I can swim, because we were just talking about deep diving. So, into yourself. So, confirmation. Doing that internal work. One more. Thank you. All right. We have the rainbow. Sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. I love it. You know, at the end of the storm, there's a rainbow, right? I love that. I think you guys are on the tail end of a lot of that stuff, and you're really seeing things kind of transforming around you. Wow, that's beautiful energy. Really tapping into your magic, guys. Really tapping into your magic. Let's get one more. Okay. There's weird stuff in my hand. The sweet waters. Ooh. The sweet waters. Sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility. So we got more than one card about fertility. If you're not trying to get pregnant, be careful. And balance. So I'm going to keep my comments to myself. Just because of some of the cards that I saw. And I'm just like, you know what? I just saw a vision of something. Some of y'all might be able to have some fun when this romance comes in. I'm gonna leave it. I'll leave your imagination to think about the rest. But yeah. So anyway, we have Enkal, healer, seer, priest, priestess, soul purpose. So you guys are coming into your soul purpose. A lot of you guys are meant to be healers. Um, I just got this vibe of an energy of like wounded healer energy. You know, people who, you know, they heal themselves by healing others. I fall in that category. I'm a constant work in progress. Like I don't have it all together, right? And I never will say that I do. But because of the things I've been through, I have a lot of knowledge and insight. And because I have done a lot of work on myself already, I'm able to use my experiences to help other people on their healing journeys. But even through all of that, I'm still healing constantly. And because I don't think there's a such thing as being 100% healed. I personally just don't believe that. Some people do. I personally don't. 5 when I just said that. I personally don't believe that there's a such thing as being fully healed. I recently explained, think of like a scar, right? A scar could be fully healed, but it could have calluses on top of it. It could have scar tissue. It leaves a mark. You know what I mean? And it's a constant reminder. It's always going to be there. You know what I mean? So why would we think that just because we worked on healing, you know, emotionally or mentally or whatever, that there's nothing left behind? There's always going to be something left. There's always going to be a reminder. And we're going to sometimes have moments where those things pop up and, you know, resurface, and we have to kind of let ourselves say, okay, you know, yes, I went through a painful experience, but I came out stronger because of it. And you could look at those scars as, you know, your battle wounds. You could look at them as your badge of strength. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So even when I have my moments of, you know, weakness, you know, during my healing journey, I still know, okay, well, I've been through a lot, experienced a lot, overcame a lot. So that's how I look at it. So I do feel like a lot of you guys have a very similar path that you might be on. Top of the deck, we have Lady of the Lake. New beginnings. A lot of cards. We got new beginnings like 3 times. New beginnings. Something is about to happen. So there's something new coming into your lives. And I'm picking up on romance. I'm picking up on possibly finances. I feel like a lot of it's also just this new version of yourself that you're really like getting to know, embarking on that new part of your journey too. A lot of good energy here. And we have follow the stream, dedication, trust, future rivers and oceans. Understanding that, you know, these little streams and alleyways and stuff like that, that, you know, we're constantly on and taking, those things are going to lead to these bigger, remember there's a card about bigger picture, kind of the same energy. You know, it's like these little fine details that make this bigger picture. It's like a tapestry, right? You ever look at a tapestry, the back of one, where it's all these little strings, and you're like, what the fuck is on the other side of that? All you see is like these strings. There's no formation of a picture there at all. When you turn it around, you're like, oh shit. This is a beautiful, beautiful picture. And I feel like that's kind of like what life is like, you know. We have all these different experiences, and we're always trying to figure it all out, and in the moment we can't see it. You know what I mean? But then when we have, you know, our sense of, you know, hindsight, that's when we can look back on those different situations in our lives, and that's when we see the big picture, and we're like, oh, that's why I had all these different choices I had to make. That's why all these different things happened in my life, and I had to, you know, overcome this, and I had to overcome that to get here. And then you look at it and you're like, oh shit. Oh goddamn, I did that. I did that. I'm the head honcho of my life, and I fucking conquered that and smashed that shit. Yeah, I'm getting kind of that energy. Let's see. To close out, where am I guided to? I'll just tell you where am I guided to. I'm guided to these. I pulled them out the other day and I didn't use them. I left them there on purpose. I was like, I'm just gonna leave them there. There's like my little chase on my couch, chase area of my couch. Like that's where I do my readings. So like sometimes I just have piles of cards just sitting there. I look like a hoarder, and it looks terrible. But like the rest of the room is like spotless, and it's just like this one little section of chaos. But it's my organized chaos, and I'm like, don't touch my shit. I have it there for a reason. Don't touch my stuff. Look at that. Before I even start shuffling, we have, when I split the deck, we have Rise Above. You will gain clarity of this current situation when you see it from a higher perspective, right? Along with true love. This is just me splitting the deck, just saying. At the core foundation of this relationship is potential for true love. Right. So, I already said very early on, I feel like this is like kind of like a love reading. Ironically, I almost did a love reading. I was like, It's like I'm guided to the Mermaid Oracle cards, and that's what I went with. Well, we got some really good messages. Really good messages here. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the reading. I feel like this was a really powerful one. And it just goes to show how powerful you guys are. Remember, this is you guys. This is your energy, right? This is the stuff that you've been through, that you've been learning from. And, you know, how you're shining and glowing on the other side of all of this. So we have Path of Least Resistance. When all doors seem to be closed, it is because you have not tried to open the correct one just yet. Goes back to that sense of patience, right? You know, just because you got a bunch of doors slammed in your face at different times of your life doesn't mean that there's no doors that are open just for you. You know, you'll never miss out on the opportunities that are just for you. Keep that in mind. When things don't work out, it just means that it wasn't your opportunity. So always remember that. Easier said than done, trust. I understand. Like when you apply for a job and you really wanted it and you didn't get it. But guess what? On the other end of all of that, there's going to be a better opportunity for you somewhere. Fun fact. Or not, never mind. Where did it go? Never mind. Well, I was about to tell you guys a story, but I don't know where the thing went. This deck, I keep a feather in there. And interestingly enough, the feather somehow manifested in my living room on my couch out of nowhere one day last year. And it was a perfect white feather, very small like that. And it was like so cute. And I was like, where the hell did this come from? I'm like, okay, it's summertime, so it's not like it came out like of a coat or something. Like, where would a random feather just land on the couch? Like, where did it come from? The window's not open, nothing like that. And my friend Allie, who's also a reader, and she's a seer as well, she was like, it was your grandfather. He visited you, and he put it there. I was like, no fucking way. So I don't know where it went. It was in the box. It probably just like got caught between cards or something, but gotta find that. All right, so we have reevaluation. It is time to reevaluate your present circumstances and begin to make changes where changes are needed. That was no, my pillow doesn't have feathers in it. It's like a memory foam pillow. I thought about all of those things, and I'm like, damn, where would a feather just come from? So crazy. But yeah, so remember we were talking about this deep diving, right? It's giving me hermit mode. I think you guys did a lot of that. A lot of hermit mode, a lot of deep diving, soul searching, and deep thinking. And, you know, this is how you guys got to where you are. We have two cards that came out together. Lightheartedness. It's time for you to let your inner child out to play. Interesting. Because that's giving me kind of like what we were discussing on, I believe it was Monday, how that inner child needs a little bit of work. A lot of this stuff stems from the inner child. You know, I just gave you guys an example about myself, about my lack of confidence stemming from childhood, about my complexion, about my hair, about my size. And, you know, for some of you, you might have a similar experience from your childhood that you can reflect on. That could be something that might kind of hinder this part of your journey when it comes to how you view yourself, how you feel about yourself, the type of relationships that you allow yourself to be in, things like that. Take it as it resonates, because that's not going to apply for everybody. I'm not, don't, don't make it fit if it doesn't fit, you know what I mean? We have dream come true. Your dreams are coming true because you stayed true to your heart's desire. Those came out together. Maybe there's some things from your childhood that, were dreams of yours that they're saying don't ever give up on your dreams. I'm even getting like, when we get older, right, and we're adults or whatever, our innocence is gone, right? We like that childlike innocence that we have and believing it. That's why I was drawn, I think, to do the part about the mermaids, because I'm like, mermaids are mystical creatures, and they're not real, so they say, and all this stuff. And it's like there's something super cool about them, because it's like, do they exist? Do they not? You know what I mean? And it's like, when we are little, we have all these beliefs and stuff, and magic and the unknown and all this stuff, and then we get older and our innocence starts to kind of deplete, and now we look at things from the set of the world's view of how we're supposed to look at things, and all of the thoughts of miracles and magic and mysticism and all that stuff, it goes out the window for a lot of us. Some of us still believe in some of some of us don't. And there might be something that stems from your childhood that you always believed in. It could be a dream that you had for yourself, like for your career or something like that, or I don't know. Take it as it resonates. But maybe they're also saying for some of you, don't ever give up on your dreams. Like what you want, go after it, and don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't have it. No matter how unrealistic and stuff it may seem, and all of that, right? Now, of course, there still has to be a sense of practicality, because we are living in the real world. But just don't sell yourself short, and don't make your dreams too small. Is what I'm trying to say, I think. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully I didn't contradict myself a little bit. So we have, you are worthy. I just talked about self-worth earlier. It is time to stop feeling unworthy, unloved, and undeserving. Exactly. You are the shit. You are the shit. And you deserve everything that you want. Everything that you've earned. Just have to see it within yourself. Exactly. I remember I jokingly said it earlier, but I was dead ass. This is a time about affirmations. Saying as many positive affirmations about yourself, and understanding how amazing you are. You have visualization. By practicing visualization daily, you are calling forward your desire, and it will soon be a tangible experience in your current reality. Remember, we saw that card earlier about contemplation becomes actualization or something like that. I was talking about manifestations and all of that. Wow, what's going on out there? That sounds like a spaceship or some shit. That is weird. What's going on out there? My cat's like looking up through by the window. She's like, "What the fuck is that, Mom?" I'm like, "I don't know what that is." It's not wind, because the trees aren't blowing. That's a weird ass sound. Okay. I'm gonna get ready to wrap up this reading so I can go figure out and investigate shit and see what the fuck's going on outside, because there's just a lot going on. Between hearing babies crying, and now me and my cat just heard this weird whooshing sound, but there's no trees blowing out there. There's something going on. And I gotta be nosy and go look. So can y'all hear that? It's like a like that. It's not raining right now. It was raining earlier. It's not raining right now, and the wind is not blowing. That's a weird ass sound. Okay, we're about to get abducted over here. So you hear it too, okay? And that's on the microphone. Y'all picking it up too, like a swooshing, right? But the wind is not blowing. Well, the trees are still, and it's not raining. I have no idea what's going on. Good old Connecticut. All right, so we have heart of compassion. There are many people around you now who benefit from your sorry, I'm so distracted right now. There are many people around you who benefit from your loving, compassionate heart. Remember, I was saying earlier about that, keeping that heart space open, but just making sure that you're wary and acknowledging, the people who are worthy of that. I don't know if it's a plan. It could be. Um, that's just a sound I never really heard around here before. But I mean, technically, like in Stratford, Connecticut, which is only like a town over, there is the Sikorsky plant, and they have planes there. So maybe, but it's like very loud. But Stratford is like kind of far, but I don't know. Some weird shit, man. But that's why I'm about to go outside and investigate, see what the hell that is. Hopefully, it's still whatever's going on is still happening. Right, we have divine plan here on the bottom of the deck. Your soul, and we talked about, this is divinely orchestrated this way. It's just fate. It's supposed to happen like this. Your soul has a master blueprint of your life path that it holds within it. It will never steer you in the wrong direction. It's all divinely orchestrated. Hey, girl. Hey. I'm happy you're here, but I'm about to sign off. But you could always catch the replay, as you would say, because I know I have to watch some of your stuff because I missed a couple of readings, so I went to sleep early last night. I had a chance to watch one of them earlier today, though. So we have spiritual practice. Making time for your spiritual practice will assist you with clearing your mind and restoring your inner peace. I, interestingly, said something very, very similar to this effect earlier in the reading. When I was talking about, coming up with your own rituals that allow you to, do whatever you need to do for releasing and meditations and things like that, whatever that means for you, because that's going to be very, very personal. Nobody's going to determine what that looks like or means for you. But, coming up with your own, practices. Middle of the deck, we have untapped inner power. You are getting ready to experience great power from within yourself. Love it. Love it. I love it. I love it. Beautiful energy. So, I think that's it. Do I feel guided to read from anything else? I think that's it. All right, I'll read from this and that'll be it. Officially. So when I split the deck of this one, we have death. And I spoke about ego death earlier and death and rebirth earlier. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. So we had 3 cards about beginnings, new beginnings, maybe even 4 cards about new beginnings. So more confirmations, right? Oh, girl, I definitely cracked a few jokes, especially talking about little dust bunny ass guys that are trying to come back into the energy of these divine empresses over here. Right, Queen? We were cracking so many jokes about the dust bunnies that be trying to come back because they definitely try to show their little faces in this damn reading. Absolutely not. As my girl said recently, hell in a handbasket, motherfucker. You better go on about your business. Go your own way. No, thank you. Oh, my phone's about to die too. Didn't even realize that. I forgot to put it on the charger. I meant to charge it while I was reading and was so eager to get on. All right, so we have acceptance on the bottom of the deck. I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Absolutely. Yes, dust bunnies. Get your dusty ass out of here. My goodness. Y'all better go get some good old shea butter, something. Oil yourself up a little bit. Get that ash off, man. Get that ash off. Yeah, yeah. These motherfuckers be wildin', thinking they could come back into our energy. We all glowing and shit, perfect skin, all that, and they want to try to come back. Mm-mm. Fuck out of here with that. Let's get some last messages. Oh my gosh, I cannot. Y'all got me rolling over here. We got success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. Yes. That's self-love, baby. Self-love, self-care. Extremely important. The more that you show that sense of self-love for yourself, that's a redundancy, I know. But the more that you love up on yourself, the more that you're showing, the higher power, God, the universe, whatever you believe in, confirmation, excuse me, that you're ready for that, right? So you got cards about success here more than once too. Wow. How's that for a juxtaposition? So we have success, and we have yin and yang, failure. You cannot have a success without some failures, right? Wow. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn, right? Exactly. So there's these learned lessons. I'm gonna put those kind of like together, like overlap a little bit on the spread, because wow, like it's literally like yin and yang. Like you cannot have a success without some failures. They coincide with each other. They fit like a puzzle piece. Just the fact that they came out that way, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, you had to deal with and experience like some setbacks in life in order to get to where you're going and where you are currently. Actually, I love it. Let's get like 3 more. We have empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. I like that too. Like that too. Picking up on a message here. So I'm getting that like with that empathy card, because it says what it says, but then I'm picking up on something extra too. Also, I'm getting this energy of like, for a long time, I feel like a lot of you guys probably held on to the energy of other people, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with having empathy and being empathic and all that, especially if you are an empath. A lot of people who watch my channel are empaths and have like that as a gift. But I think one of the things, I'm gonna say we, because I fall in this category too, one of the things we have to remember is the fact that that's all fine and dandy, of course, but it's important for us to also remember that we can't absorb and hold on to everybody else's energies. We have to release it. That could be why they're saying like there's this energy of cleansing, right? Spending time by water and things like that. Whatever it takes for you to cleanse yourself in your space, whatever that looks like for you. And also being able to decipher and determine what energy is yours and what energy is that of other people. So just be mindful of that. Constantly cleanse your energy if you're one of those individuals who pick up on other people's energies and tend to hold on to it. Tell us more. We have worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Yeah, so getting out of that worrisome mindset. Understanding that, we did see a card about like excessive worry before. We saw, look, I hear something outside. Sirens. Yeah, sirens are going off. So that might be very important of a message right there for some of you. When you start getting to that point where you're overthinking, like you're losing sleep and you're constantly, That's confirmation. They definitely want this. This is a message that's important right now. If you're like losing sleep, and you know, earlier I had, alluded to anxiety attacks. If you have bad anxiety and you've been feeling anxiety attacks, or having them, I should say, or just feeling very anxious, like that heaviness in the chest and a little bit of shortness of breath, and not like heart attack shit, because that means you need to go to the fucking hospital. But but I mean, like, if you truly know that you have anxiety, and that's one of the symptoms that you tend to have. Raise his hand. um that fluttering, and all of that. um just be mindful, right, that excessive worry, you know is not good for anyone. So just be mindful of that. Let's get maybe two more. Thank you. We have perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Absolutely. And one more. Patience is here twice. See if I can find it. Patience. It's here twice. So it says, I accept that everything happens in divine order. Of course, the card I'm looking for, I can't find it when I'm looking for it. But yeah, we saw that card earlier about, like divine timing or divine plan, or whatever it said, something along those lines. It's a divine plan. Yeah, divine plan. Some more confirmations. Yeah, so they're definitely letting you know everything that's been happening has been happening exactly the way it's supposed to, for a reason. And the big thing that one needs to focus on right now is happiness, intrinsic happiness. We have I am aware that being happy means I am on the right path. Exactly. And nobody determines that but you. Don't let anybody tell you what that looks like for you. Other people can keep their opinions to themselves with their dusty ass opinions. Nobody's worried about their dusty asses if they got something to say. Especially if it's a dusty person trying to come back for a relationship that was a failure. No, thank you. I'm attracted to those people who with a burnt crisp ass as the microwave goes off. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Exactly. Not dust bunnies. Not dust bunnies. And then we have love. So they're making a very big point about this. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So they're definitely letting you know. I picked up on love reading earlier, and it's more confirmation that yes, they're like, yes, there are dust bunnies from the past that want to try to come in and infiltrate. Don't let them. Don't let them. Don't let them. And this is a time to focus on, what makes you happy, your self-love, your self-care, your glow up, right? And the more that you focus on yourself, the more likely it is that you will welcome in exactly what it is that you've been manifesting and what you've been wanting. So just keep all of that in mind as you, work on this part of your journey, because you guys are doing great, clearly, because this is really nice energy. Like, the only bad energy is like energy from other people, ain't y'all. You know what I mean? So with all that said, I love you guys so much for always, making me laugh and, keeping me on my toes, and, supporting me in all my shenanigans. So, I'll probably come on again maybe Saturday evening. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see. And yeah, Lati, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna probably catch you either, because I think today's Thursday, right? Yeah. Our girl probably is going live tonight. So if she does, then I'm gonna probably check her out before I go to sleep. Um, or if not, then I'm definitely gonna check you out because I know you posted some videos. But yeah, love you guys. So until next time, bye. Oh, and if you guys are new, make sure you hit the subscribe. See y'all next time. Bye.